When I heard the Prime Minister spoke to the fact that there was no devastation in the wake of Hurricane Irene, I was wondering what planet he was on. If he said that because there were no loss of lives, it does not equate to devastation, then he is correct. But if 17 flooded homes, 42 severely destroyed homes, when I say damaged homes, and something like 87 damaged homes is not utter destruction, I don't know what it is. Flying 200 feet above the scene may not have given him a clear picture as to what is actually on the ground. The men whom he sent, Minister Turnquest, Minister Folks, and others, drove from the airport in Spring Point to 1 or 2 houses in Lovely Bay, which was fine, and then returned to the airport. I don't know what it is. It was a pleasure for me, but it was a very sobering moment to walk every house, settlement to settlement, from Salina Point to Lovely Bay, and then Crooked Island from Cove to Landrell Point. I know what the devastation is, and I want to look Mr. Ingram in his face, and if I could persuade him to change his mind, I will seek to do that. I know I wouldn't, but I'll try to do it. The second thing I want to say is, I believe that the government response to this was fast but inadequate. I think it was almost an exercise to or for the camera. Because if you sent social services and the other agencies of the government, and all they did in effect was to follow the ministers around in cars, that's not what I consider to be adequate response. They needed to walk and talk and touch and look in people's eyes and see the hurt and pain. And the statement the Prime Minister made, I'm going to invite him to retract it, because his own supporters are very disappointed and upset with him for the insensitivity in his response in the wake of the disaster in Acklins and Crooked Island. I will have a lot to say about this in a prepared statement, but I'm going to invite the public, wherever you are, to visit one of the lumber companies, Tops, Kelly's. I'm going to open accounts in 4 of them tomorrow morning. And if you can only buy a sheet of plywood, a window, a piece of lumber, some nail, couple of hammers, do it and leave it and say ship it to Acklins, Crooked Island, or Long Key, and we will be ever so grateful. There is very little damage in Long Key per se, but there was one man who lost his house completely, Mr. Bruce Knowles. And of course, Long Key has only a population of about 14 people, and that's like 12% of the houses gone with that one destruction. Having said that, I don't take it lightly. I want the government to immediately respond to rebuilding his house, because he is homeless at this moment. And of course, the others, we expect them to rebuild or assist in the rebuilding as well. But I know it will not happen overnight. But for Long Key, where the only destruction of a house was Mr. Bruce Knowles's, I really expect within the next week or 2, the government will send sufficient supplies to build that 1-bedroom house back in the shortest possible time. Having said that, I believe you will know that I am very hurt, concerned, depressed, and I'm going to go to Maguana and Inagua in the not too distant tomorrow, because their damages were much less. And I thought I would go to the most devastated areas first. I cut my vacation short to do it, and I was delighted to do that. The people I was able to speak with, I am sure, and I'm not talking politics, they love Alfred Virginius Cornelius Gray. Alfred Virginius Cornelius Gray loved them. And when the roll is called, this Hurricane Irene will be a nightmare to this government in that constituency.